Hi, I'm Steve Smith with another Wired Family Update. Are you going a bit stir-crazy sitting at home during the COVID-19 crisis? Well, you know what? Most of us throughout the globe appreciate the precautions being made for safety. But we can feel the walls closing in on us. And if you're at home with kids, well, you likely see the same thing with them as well. Now, how many teens and tweens have asked their parents to download Houseparty recently? You know, that app that we first reported on back in 2017? It's made a big comeback. And a lot of kids are asking for it. In fact, if you consider Android users, over 10 million downloads of Houseparty occurred recently. And again, we have no idea exactly how many were downloaded on Apple iOS devices. But if you look at the App Annie's iOS rankings for recent social media downloads in the US, you can see how Houseparty has grown to #1, perhaps in large part to so many schools and businesses having closed. Frankly, just like with Skype, Zoom, Facetime, and Webex for business, if you're in isolation, group video chats can play a role in connecting people with their equally isolated friends. Let's face it, kids need to feel connected. Hopefully, that connection can take place in person, but in times such as these, Houseparty facilitates part of the connection that kids want, and frankly, in times like these, perhaps they need. So what is it? Well, much like Skype and others that we mentioned, Houseparty is a group video social media app. Friends and friends of friends can communicate with each other via live video and text. But, and this is a big but, there is no screening. So up to 8 friends can join the conversation, which takes place via split-screen video feed. But no administrators monitor any of the activity, which means the possibility of inappropriate content can be high, depending on the people involved in the chat. While it can seem like conversations are taking place between close friends, well, the reality is what we found is things don't always remain that personal. Users can send links to their profiles to anyone. There's also the ability to take screenshots, even in private groups, and then ultimately share them on other social media sites. And incidentally, that's one of my biggest concerns, not just with Houseparty, with any app that children are using. There's also private rooms that can be locked. Now, that's a great idea to keep strangers from entering a conversation, no question about it. But it's a bad idea if your means of monitoring your child is to be one of their contacts. And now they're in a locked room. And I want to reiterate that since friends of friends can enter these conversations, this means that there is a likelihood that your child will be exposed to strangers, some of them good, some of them not so good. So if your child's friend is talking to some guy named Bob, your child is now talking to that same guy named Bob. Now, the app does notify you when someone new joins a chat, so your child can leave if they want to avoid someone they don't know in real life. But sometimes, inappropriate behavior from strangers occurs before you can really do anything about it. In fact, this is the biggest potential for online predators. The digital neighborhood, and I do mean neighborhood, means exposure to people that your child may not know, but who they may feel inclined to trust based on the fact that they have a mutual friend. This is an often used technique by predators on many apps. This trust could make it easier for a predator to try to gain access to another child. Houseparty can be a great place for mature teenagers, no question, but really requires parents' due diligence. You must remind your kids that they should always assume that whatever they're doing online is being recorded and can be used against them. Moreover, as parents, you certainly need to talk with your child about that very fact. So, what's an appropriate age for Houseparty? Well, the app says age 12 plus. That would not be my suggested age. In fact, in great part due to privacy and potential predators. So to that end, it's no accident that 60% of users are between the ages of 16 and 24. But remember, due to the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, in the U.S., you must be 13 years old to use a free app that uses and collects your personal information. For example, here's just a bit of what COPPA states. First off, by their definition, a child is an individual under the age of 13, and they suggest you cannot collect or have a means of collection of any information about a child, including, but not limited to, requesting, prompting, or encouraging a child to submit personal information online, enabling a child to make personal information publicly available in an identifiable form, and passive tracking of a child online, and so on and so on and so forth. You know, at first glance, the majority of the privacy information provided by Houseparty's owner, Life on Air, which was really recently purchased by Epic Games, seems rather boilerplate, with one exception. As seen here in the information submitted via services area, Houseparty states, you agree that Life on Air is free to use the content of any communication submitted by you via the service, including any ideas, inventions, concepts, techniques, or know-how disclosed therein for any purpose, including developing, manufacturing, and/or marketing goods or services. Look, while I doubt your child is communicating with other life forms that are giving him or her the secrets of the universe, as an adult, I certainly wouldn't be using this app for business. Look, all apps are taking your child's and your name, address, email, phone number, and often location. They say the information is anonymous and that they're not making it available to others. But as we've learned time and time again, such data often finds itself out into the ethers of the world. Just look at these breaches, in fact, just over the first 3 months of 2020. So, what's your biggest challenge? Well, it's being vigilant and managing the following. Who's your child chatting with? How long and at what times can they be on the app? Remember, many mental health professionals are beginning to believe that 2 hours of total social media or video gaming is the daily limit. You gotta remember, their brains are still developing. They're not adults yet. Are you monitoring their notes? And the notes are essentially the text messages within that app. But there are some services such as Bark which are currently able to monitor Houseparty on Android devices. Specifically, Bark monitors those notes, which are the messages passed between users while inside the app. Bark's monitoring will alert you of any potentially dangerous message, allowing you to open a dialogue with your child. And there are other parental controls as well that can do that. So hopefully such monitoring will give you peace of mind knowing that your kids are better protected from potential issues, including cyberbullying, sexual content, depression, suicide ideation, threats of violence, and more. So there you have it. We hope this gives you a better idea of the Houseparty app. Remember, as we've said so many times in the past, talk with your kids. That's your best parental control. And visit our article on a Wired Family titled The 4 Steps to Managing Your Child's Online Activity. And this is going to help guide you through your child's online life and keeping them protected. And I know if you follow these rules, your life's going to be a lot easier. Well, thanks for joining us today. And please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member that you feel it might help. And if you're interested in learning more about a Wired Family, please visit our website at awiredfamily.org. And if you're interested in us presenting to students, staff, parents, or a professional group, please email Mary Beth Smith at marybeth@awiredfamily.org.